Thank you, Charlene, for inviting me to this roundtable. As Charlene indicated, I'm going to talk a little bit about, very little bit about product emissions testing and building air testing. So it's been mentioned a couple of times that, basically everything in this room has a potential to contribute to the air quality. So all the building materials, the people, the cleaning products, everything. It's an infinite number. Okay. So product emissions testing has primarily, though, focused on building construction materials. Okay, not on consumer products, not on personal products, not on cleaning products. They look at things like chemical content, not chemical emissions. Even products like paints and adhesives, the wet products, they haven't been testing for emissions of chemicals into the air. They've been looking at VOC content because that's required in some locales for outdoor air uses. So, okay, I don't want to hit the big button in the middle. So now this has come up, several times. How is health defined? And one of the things we find in the low emitting, what would you first? I'm going to go back from health and let's talk about low emitting. When you think of a low emitting product, currently, with the standards that are recognized, there is recycled rubber flooring could have a logo or label that says it's low emitting. PVC wall covering, okay, because of what we're looking at, and I'll get into that. But the same thing with health, and that is driven by health. We're trying to, when we say a health-based standard, which we're trying to develop now for low emitting products, everybody says, well, we need a specific endpoint that we can point to so we can come up with a limit value for a chemical. Okay, well, I think we're ignoring a lot of other issues related to health, especially issues that are more short-term, intermittent, sensory irritation if you're a child in a school and you start coughing and you can't go in because the air is bad and you're absent. Well, there's financial implications to that as well. So we really need a definition of health for the product health testing area. Like I said, we don't all have the same definition, and even should there be a single definition when we talk about this, and who should be the ultimate authority? Now, if we're just going to refer back to the World Health Organization, we're going to get the criticism, at least from many manufacturers, that it's too broad. Okay, well, we can't account for all of that. So we need a health definition that's broader than what's currently being used, but really can be applicable by manufacturers, and so that people, when they use the products, they say, oh, okay, I understand what this means. Because right now, people think they buy a low-emitting product that has a logo, says IAQ tested or something of that nature. They make the assumption, oh, if I use this, I'm going to be okay. It's not going to bother me. I'm not going to, and that's not the case at all necessarily. So again, I'm going to bring up, we've been trying to get a level playing field, and just saying, so the EU has the same problems. It's not just here in the US, and we're going completely different directions. So in the EU, they actually have come to consensus on how to test the model data, but they haven't come to consensus on a single set of endpoints. There are some countries that have a much broader definition of health and cover many more compounds than in the States, hundreds of compounds. For example, Germany and France, they use lowest concentrations of interest, and they'll take some of the occupational endpoints, like the ACGI, HTLVs, they'll apply a safety factor to them, okay, so that they can be used in more of a commercial type environment than an occupational environment. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but they have a much broader list. In the US, there really isn't consensus on how to test the model data, but there's a push toward a single set of endpoints. Now, I'm not sure, we can discuss this, should there be a single set of endpoints? Or should it focus on, it should be clear what we're addressing, but if you say, oh, we have a low emitting healthy product, it should say, okay, this addresses acute issues, this addresses chronic. Oh, we're not looking at carcinogens. Say what it is that you're addressing with the endpoints. I'm way behind time. One of the problems that we're having is, I'm going to call it the California factor. It's a resistance to change. A lot of you may have heard of California 1350. It's a test method, and with a very limited list of endpoints that are basically designed around outdoor air, and they don't address. So I'm running out of time here. So basically, it's the formaldehyde standard, and it's been a great job of reducing formaldehyde emissions into the air, but that's about it. It only looks at chronic non-cancer endpoints. It doesn't address basically chemicals that you actually find emitting from products or found in buildings. The limit values are higher than observed, and I'm just going to do this with an end. We have a lot of needs, okay? There are a lot of needs. And one of the things that we really need is more health endpoint data. And again, we're not even addressing anything like SVOCs, personal products. I mean, we can go on and on with the list. So thank you very much.